Stunning new video of a gang-fueled massacre in real time. 40 rounds fired in 6 seconds as innocent people scurry to safety. A killing field, according to the U.S. Attorney's Office, which released the footage from troubled hangout known as Taste of the City. The firefight leaving 3 dead and 10 wounded in August. This evidence released Wednesday after the FBI arrested the first of 3 alleged shooters. Prosecutors say Elijah Roy, seen highlighted in yellow, was one of 5 people to open fire. 2 of the gunmen were killed.
Was he at the club that day?
The 25-year-old suspect's mother and sister leaving the courthouse after Roy's arraignment without comment. However, the alleged gang member cried as he was led to jail and told his family, "I want to go home."
He's a 25-year-old young man who's in federal custody, just got transported from 20-hour lockdown in North Carolina. Of course he's scared.
The feds say they found the ex-con hiding out in North Carolina, alleging 2 Brooklyn rival gangs chose to settle a score, putting countless lives in the crosshairs. Out of the 10 shooting survivors, at least 2 have filed lawsuits against the Taste of the City Lounge for not providing adequate security that night, they say, which has left them with lasting physical and emotional scars. One of them, Amadou Ba, is represented by attorney Nick Romcheritar.
When he entered the lounge, no one searched him. They waved him through.
Saying the 25-year-old is now unable to work his construction job after being shot in the ankle.
Because of that, he suffers from PTSD. He's scared to go into just a normal establishment.
As to who shot whom, Roy's attorney says it's unclear.
I can't make heads or tails of what is or isn't in his hand on the video. What I saw was my client leaving a establishment and falling down.
Whether he left.
Now he's crying for his mother. Right. And so I'm pretty sure that the community is going to rally to his defense and that we can get a GoFundMe rocking with him so that we can make sure that this guy gets out of prison. And then you want to go and talk about, I want to go home to my mama. Nah, dog, you was tough. You was tough. You was carrying heaters. You was in a gang. You was shooting back and forth at rival gangs. Now, mama, you know what I'm saying, want to say, get out of my face. No, we in your face. I said the other day, as I was looking at a Philadelphia News article where they were saying that they were starting to charge the parents for some of the things that they was finding that the kids was into. I think that that should be applicable here. Absolutely, it should be applicable here. Aside from the lawsuits and all of that other stuff, when I see certain environments, I just don't participate. I don't go into. I'm not looking to be a part of. That's not my thing. I'm not interested in kicking it with y'all whatsoever. I want to go home. I want to go home. At this point, when we talk about having fun, the first thing that I think that people have to think about is self-preservation. Survival is key. And if you can't be safe, if I don't believe that it is a large venue or something like that, or some kind of family gathering, chances are I'm up out of there because I got to survive. I got to be there for my daughter. You know what I'm saying? I need to make sure that my family is taken care of. I got to make sure that everybody is safe. I got to make sure that my employees get paid. And so it's just random guns being shot and all of these people is running around. And ironically enough, this is normal within our community. This is normal. You said it was in Brooklyn? I know. I know. Of course it is. Of course it is. This could be anywhere inside of any urban city in the United States of America. And that's not to say that crime doesn't happen in other communities, but I'm not necessarily caring about what happens in other communities. I care about what's happening in the cities. And when Trump says, yo, we need to make sure that we make these cities safe again and all of this, I'm having a hard time believing that he's going to be able to walk comfortably back and forth throughout New York City. You ain't even supposed to be having guns in New York City. I remember when Plaxico Burress shot himself inside of the club, and he had to do, I think, 2 years, and he messed up his whole career when it came to that. And so when I see certain things happening, you know what I'm saying, I just don't have no sympathy no more, because innocent bystanders are usually ones that get killed. They're the ones that get shot. These people wind up leaving, and they go home, and nobody catches them, and it's killings and things that happen on a regular basis, and nobody is ever held accountable for it. And now I think that it's important, when you catch these people, you got to throw the book at them. You can't give lighter sentences. You can't be nice to people. You can't do any of that. You got to throw the book at them. You got to hold these people accountable. And you can't let them continue to get away with bad behavior because they're going to do it again. Don't care how many pleas you call for your mama. Don't care about none of that type of stuff. But meanwhile, let me tell you what else is going on in New York now that Eric Adams is also dropping out.
The MTA board voting on a proposed fare hike for subways and buses as we speak. And if approved, fares will go up 10 cents from $2.90 to $3 starting in January.
See, I'm confused because I thought we just did congestion pricing. I thought that was supposed to help. All right, so money, if we get this fare increase, would be used in part to beef up, they say, safety underground. Now, this is important, and I'm not saying it's not important, considering a scary attack on a subway worker overnight. Police say a man attacked him while he was walking the tracks at Nostrand Avenue subway station in Crown Heights.
And right now, his colleagues are calling for the city to do more. Eyewitness News reporter Phil Tate is live for us in downtown Brooklyn with the latest on this vote that's set to take place, or what do we know at this hour? Yeah, Pedro, good morning. Well, moments ago, I spoke with members of the Transit Workers Union. They are both outraged and frustrated to know what happened to one of their members, and that's as that transit worker was unfortunately slashed while on the job that was over in Crown Heights at the Nostrand Avenue station. Now, cops tell us that that worker was on the tracks when he encountered a man, and well, that's when things went south. Let's get straight to some video. This is from overnight around 10:40 as that investigation got underway. Police had flooded that station following all of the violence. Now, again, cops tell us the man was 64 years old. He was a maintainer. He was, again, working when he encountered that unknown person. There was some form of a verbal exchange that happened between the pair, and shortly after was when that worker was slashed in the neck. Now, this morning, the Transit Workers Union, along with other groups here in downtown Brooklyn, they rallied on the heels of this violence, calling for greater protections for workers and fair pay at facilities where even MTA cars are being made. I spoke with some from TWU who shared thoughts on the violence over in Crown Heights. Let's take a listen.
Luckily, he wasn't severely injured, but injured enough where he was punctured in his neck and required stitches. But again, this is just a regular case of somebody coming to work, doing their job, and not even in the public's view. This was someone who was doing a general order, which is taking power off the tracks. This wasn't a station agent or cleaner. This is just random attacks by intoxicated or mentally disturbed people. And again, we're going to make sure that anyone who harms our members is going to get the full extent of the law.
And right now, an active investigation is underway to find that suspect still at large. As for the...
And he ain't even caught. He's not even caught. He's still running around New York City, and he's not even caught. After slashing a worker and getting away. They don't have a photo to release to the general public. You got all of this money and all of these billions of dollars that's being poured into the city and public safety and tax dollars. The most expensive city in the United States of America when it comes to the amount of money and the cost of living and the taxes that people are paying. And you can't catch a guy that's out there slashing people on the MTA and is doing some of the most demonic things to the people that are working to maintain public safety and at the same time making sure people get to and from their destinations. And these are the essential workers that y'all got in New York City, and you can't even protect them. You can't even catch the person. You can't protect them. You can't do anything. These liberal city mayors and these public policies are failing the people every single day. And we see it happen in shootouts, workers getting slashed, everything under the sun goes. Drugs, drug-fueled environments, prostitute, whatever it is that you want, you can go and get it in these liberal cities. And they advocating against Trump coming into the city. Let me know what y'all think inside of the comments. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description. Teach Hanley 40% off your first order, 20% off for life. I love you. I appreciate you. It's wild in these streets, bro.